I'm going to give feedback for 5 maps today: CS Tory, DE Maynard, DE Transmit, DE Valiance and DE Brewery. So only 1 hostage rescue map and 4 diffuse maps. I'm on the hostage rescue map first, and I'm just going to go run around the map and point out some things that might need to be fixed. Alright.
We will make them cry.
Okay, yeah, first of all, I think this is not intended. Like, this map didn't make it to be very high on my list for the contest, because it has these issues, which should not be in a submitted map, especially this. Missing textures, quite a big issue, especially since you even can see through stuff. But yeah, there's also other things that I'm not too fond of. So probably the biggest issue I have is this area here. These doors, they can only be opened into one direction, which is a massive flow killer. Like this door as well. When you try to get in there, whoop, you get pushed away, and then you have to awkwardly run around it again. But that's not all. There's also this unseeming door here, which you can either open by pressing E and then go through here. From this side you can't open it, but you can shoot it and then it opens, and makes you question what purpose does it even have. And all in all, it's all very narrow here. It's easy to get stuck. So I would love to see this simplified by quite a bit. Generally, when we look at the layout, it has some areas that are quite busy, and I think it can do a lot better with simpler paths, which are easier to read. So yeah, there's a lot of these ring around the rosy spots, which can be very well be dealt with without. Also, one thing you notice is that the hostage zones are pretty far apart, which might make it difficult for terrorists, once they lose control of one hostage, to actually catch the CTs to prevent them to rescue the hostage. Like this door again only opens in one direction. Like this here is obviously also not finished. It's pretty far from it. But also this hostage rescue zone, it's just this one path leading up here. Which makes it a bit awkward. Also, these entrances here is not very... The way they are aligned is not very creative. Like, you have 4 choices you can take from the beginning. And yeah, this whole thing needs a lot more love. I don't want to get too much into detail because it's still a pretty early work in progress map. But yeah, some stuff needs to be worked on for sure. Like, you can't get away with this anymore, I think. Like having walls with windows just as decals put on it. It looks really flat. Also, another thing, I think that will also be the only thing I will address. I can't find it now. Damn, where is it? There was like a tunnel, a cave tunnel system. Jesus Christ. Ah, here it is. Damn. It's not very good looking and creative. It's like only a subdivided tunnel, and whoop, there you go. That's already it. Also, one thing that I learned myself is that you can get stuck in these ceilings when you crouch jump and then uncrouch in the air. You get stuck and you can't move anymore. You have to kill yourself or let someone else do the job. So you would have to raise the ceiling a bit so that it doesn't happen, and you have to clip off everything neatly, because the day is done when you're getting stuck and stuff like this. Okay, yeah. It can be cool, like the concept is nice. Also, Japanese maps are something that this game definitely needs. So try working on it more, but make it simpler. Alright. Next map is DE Minor by Polemin. Today is Vaya's birthday, I see. Happy birthday, man. Okay, yeah. Minor, I think it's a great map. This one made it quite high on my list. But yeah, it's not too finished yet, so I try to point some things out on here as well. First thing to notice is that there is no 3D skybox. And yeah, these windows, I don't quite know how to say it, but they don't look really good. And since you have them all around the map, it is quite important that it does look decent. Loving these herc faces. Also, I think this entrance here is pretty cool for tourists to take. It's quite unique. Yeah, that's quite big. I don't know if you used a reference for that. You probably did. But it could use a lot more detail for being such a huge centerpiece in this room. Layout itself is quite simple, which is good. Oh yeah, this ladder seems really out of place in this environment, also on this side. There's not much I can point out actually, layout wise. Maybe that this here is a bit against the flow. But when you enter here, you have to go back a bit. But yeah, it's fine. Pretty interesting areas overall. B-side, on the other hand, is a bit uninspired. Only the statue as a centerpiece. Lighting is quite nice, but I think it's a bit too yellow for such a clear sky. I would tone that down a bit. Shadow could be a bit more bluish. Yeah, I think that's already it. It's a great map in my eyes, and it has a lot of potential, so I would love to see more updates on that. Okay, yeah, let's go to the next one. DE transmit. Another map that is pretty rough around the edges. It has no ambient sound, so you can't hear anything. 3D skybox, it's pretty hard to really call it a 3D skybox. This here lacks detail, obviously, but yeah, this is just because the map is still so early in development. But it's hard to point out any visual flaws. This transmission tower is a bit flimsy, really. It could be so much bigger. Like right now it's too small to be a real transmission tower. You have these huge empty walls here. Invisible boundary. And then we have very bright light. Burns into your eyes. And the whole indoor area feels really uninspired. It's just a bunch of corridors, which is a bit of a shame. Then here and at the center of the bomb site you have a big wooden crate. That's basically it. Doesn't look really fun. But here you spice it up with a diagonal path. But and the round pillar, of course. but that's not enough in my eyes. It's still very, very boring. Yeah, it's quite generic overall. I would really love it if you could look at some references of what you want to actually do and try to learn from them on how to make the areas more interesting. Like, you got the A site as a very promising idea already with this transmission tower, which is a bit too small. And a bit, by a bit I mean, it could be twice as big, maybe even more. Engagement points do not look really exciting either. Like, there's not too much going on. Bringing some height variation into this would be much appreciated. Yeah, that's already it. This is an extremely long sideline. You should break it up, and not by just putting more crates into this path here, but actually doing more exciting brushwork. Like, put some 45-degree angles in here, like kind of like what you did here. Okay, but that's it for this map. Next map is DE Valiance.
Let's go! Let's move!
Okay. Where do we get started here? You already have this very bright lighting that comes into your you recognize, and it looks like you didn't even compile it in HDR, only in LDR. Can that be? Which does not really help. selling this map. And even then there's also some other issues. What we see here is like walls that are flat, and then you've just put stuff against it to break it up. But it you notice it as a player, and it comes off as a bit crude, like there's no real detail behind it, like having this wall and then just a big old spray on it. And down here I guess you use the decal instead of overlay, and then it just put itself down there as well. Here this wall as well. Here you try to make it a bit different, but I don't think it comes off as very good looking. Especially since it's such a long wall and then it's really repetitive again. This lighting here, like the center, is way too bright. I would turn it down, but make it spread further. Color is also questionable, that one as well. This here is a bit lame. Makes it pretty easy for cities to hold that angle. When I'm standing here, I only have a bit less than 60 FPS. Yeah, around 50 FPS, which is not enough. This is also pretty awkward. This area is very empty. And then you have this area which is very busy. Also 2 times the same prop right next to each other is not a very good idea, especially when they are so big. It all looks a bit dated. It could be just as well be a source map. With some occasional new Dust 2 assets. And then we have this industrial door here, which is also a major gripe I have. You can't destroy it, and by the looks of it, it's the main path for terrorists to get into B, and for that it's like a massive choke. You have this long way you go down here, and then you have to open this door and have to face certain various angles which are awkward to fight against. This one is very strong for cities. This one already as well. This path can be defended from cities, like I told you before. Also, once a city sees you and does not kill you, he can just chill out in here, wait, and then just repeat again, and the terrorist down here is at risk to be killed at any time, especially when he comes around this corner. City can just repeat and kill him. It's very, very dangerous. Again, lighting here, not very good. Oop. Huge flat wall and a huge spray on it to conceal its flatness, which is noticeable and does not really work. Again, spray, like these strategically placed sprays, they do not really work. Okay, this would be silly if that worked. Yeah, it's all a bit awkward here. I don't think this is a very nicely executed bomb site as well. Unclipped stairs. Must have missed them. And then you have these stairs, size-wise they look fine, and then you have like these massive, gigantic ones here with a brick texture that doesn't work on stairs. There's a bunch of things like this arch. What is it good for? Looks really out of place. Again, strategically placed spray. Huge flat empty area with just a fountain in the middle. Mid is also very busy. This path here, and then this balcony here. It could all be much simpler. Like make the paths and areas that you have make more sense, and do not just add stuff to obfuscate the fact that it's not very well working, you know? Rather make areas which are simple but unique and exciting, and not areas that are crowded with different ideas, but they are all not very well executed. Yeah, I think that's already all I have to say about this map. It also has no ambient sound, but yeah, it's still very early, of course. Okay, next map. Brewery. Made by Jimwood and Oliver. This one is really promising, but still too far away from being finished. But by the things that we can already see, I have great hopes for it to look very nice in the end. For example, this model here, it shows a lot of love for detail. Great fan of it. I hope to see more of that on this level. Oh yeah, here. Fantastic. Already this bomb site also shows great promise. Has a lot of nice details already added to it, like these crates. Fantastic job. Unfortunately, the other bomb site does not look as great. But we will get to that later. That's cool. This clipping texture is already giving us a glimpse into what it's going to be, like a metal stair case. But then he forgot to clip these stairs here. Absolutely terrible. And these, oh my god. No, okay, but layout wise, it really is a bit questionable, like having a wall alongside this area here. Will certainly have to be a bit different in the end. This kitchen door, I would like to see it opened into the other direction so you don't get stuck on it. It does not really give you any gameplay mechanics, it just is in your way. Sure, it might give you a deeper glimpse into this room. Yeah, I wouldn't make it just so you can look into it. Another thing that is a bit questionable, maybe something to look out for, is this path here. Like, you go up here and then you are above the entrance. But maybe it works. I remember the way it was before, which was worse for sure, because you had this head peak angle. It was like on this side. This should work better, yeah. So yeah, this can work. Also, that these entrances are not right above each other it's a good detail. But on the other hand, when cities have control of this area, it is 1,000 times harder for terrorists to get into this bomb site. Will be interesting to see how it plays out. Okay, now we come to the ugly part of the map. This here is, you can see that it's all very early in development with just placeholder models. I hope they are going to improve on those. Ugh, so ugly. Really, you really need to work on that. It's hard for me to look at, but I will go through this. I will endure it, and I hope you guys will do so too. Okay, so this here is the middle. There used to be some wood stacks here, which are gone, and that's nice. But overall, the middle is very, not a very, but it's a bit boring. Will be interesting to see how the timings pan out. Okay, yeah, about this bomb site here, floor texture is black, but yeah, let's not mind about that. This part here has a bit awkward, I think. I can already see that this is going to be tough to make this really work nicely. Can actually be really tough for cities to hold this. Like terrorists can come from there, there and there. I'm not too sure. I think the bomb site is up here. Let's go to the terrorist site.
This is what we have been working for. I'm planted.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That would be really goofy.
Activating the bomb.
So yeah, when you are going to playtest this map,
I'm planting the bomb.
some clear bomb site indicators would be neat. This is a bit of an inconsistency issue. You can't go down here, but you can jump over here like... That's not really nice. Yeah, it's a tough one. In my eyes, terrorists should have a very good and easy way to take control of this bomb site. They can have a fourth way from down here, and then if they have control of map, they can also come from this angle. Okay, that's a city entrance here. And cities, they do not have a lot to play around with. Very tough. But I'm sure you guys will figure it out how to make it play well and look well. And yeah, keep at it. That's already it for today. Unless there is someone in the comments who wants me to check out his map as well. Do I even have AM chicken anymore? I ran around AM chicken and I found it was really cool, but I don't have it anymore. John Madden, can you tell me what the name of your map was again? And Duckmeister, you can tell me the name of your map and I will maybe rate it another time. But for now I want to just give feedback to maps that didn't make it into the top 10 of the MapCore contest. Map DE break. Are you sure it's called DE break? I remember your map, John Madden. It had a bunch of weird paths, and it was very early in development. But I can't remember the name. Barbisco. Barrio? Could it be Barrio? Ah, there we have it. Okay. DE submerge. Okay, I noted that one. Duckmeister General is your real name? Your Steam name as well? Or do you go under another name? Maybe even just give me the link to your Steam workshop. Yeah, this is your map.
Let's go, everyone.
Madden.
Move out.
Ooh, okay. It's very extraordinary for sure. Man, John Madden, I don't even know how to get started. It's also so pretty weird. What is it even going to be in the end? Is it going to be an art gallery or something? A Guggenheim museum? A boardwalk. What is a boardwalk? Boardwalk. What? That makes no sense. How is this supposed to be a boardwalk? I just googled it and the images that came up do not resemble this at all. Amusement park with a boardwalk in it. Okay, interesting. Will be hard for you to pull off, I think. Is this your first map? Like your first real map? Second. Okay, so you already know how to do everything. Ah, here is sand. Ah, this is the beach, yeah? Okay, cheers, duck. Map based on an underwater research lab. Sounds exciting. Okay, yeah, about your map, John Madden. B-side seems pretty busy already. Like, it will be tough to clear the bomb site as a terrorist. As a CT you can just hang back here, wait maybe for a terrorist to drop from there, keep peeking over there. And then you have this entrance here. Yeah, on one hand it's it's tough, but on the other hand there's not much a city can do on here. The way it might play out is that cities try to push out of the bomb site, because there's nothing nowhere really where you can hold from, except maybe the stairs that I mentioned. But then you can't hold that entrance. And holding that entrance, yeah, I could do it like this maybe. It's a tough one. I'm not completely sold on it yet, but try to get a playtest going on it, man, and see how it plays, how people navigate around the map. Bomb site A is also really enclosed. This is with a vent. This can be a bit lame as well. So yeah, I wish you good luck with this map. I don't want to drag this out too much. Will be tough work to get it visually appealing and to get it to play well, but that's hard to tell. You really need to get some people on it. And some areas could really be a bit simpler, like you don't have to have everything at an off angle on the map. Some clear-cut angles are not that bad to have, after all. Okay, I am done for today. If you want me to check out your map as well, if it's in an operation or not operation, if it has been in the contest or not, doesn't matter. Just give me a message, send me a message with a Steam workshop link, and I will take a look at it and do another stream. But yeah, contest maps are getting the higher priority. Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining, and see you next time. Bye bye.